When someone says you're obsessed, do you see, or hero of obsession, do you see that as a negative connotation?
How do you define if you're obsessed with something?
You need a level of obsession to be successful in an aspect of life.
This is the needle, and I know I need to focus on this and this and this, and as long as I do that, it'll eventually come around.
This year should be better than last year. The next year should be better than last year. The next year after that should be better than the year before that. Every single year should be an upgrade.
Now, I've been listening to Steve Jobs' one, and probably, I don't know, 25-30% of the way through, and he's a weird dude.
Isn't it funny? It's like the great minds of our lifetimes, or the lifetimes now and past. They're all weird.
You know, I've been listening to Steve Jobs' biography.
Nice. I didn't even know he had one.
Really? So
Did he write it, or did someone write it for him?
No. So it's written about him. So there's a great author.
After his death or before his death?
This was when, I believe, when they found out he was sick.
Yeah.
They started doing it because obviously he is he's quite the man, right? In the sense of what he's been able to achieve. I'll get the name of the author, because this same author did one about Elon Musk.
Oh, same bloke.
Same author, yeah. So this guy does some of the most popular people, not popular, also
famous,
impactful, yeah. Him and Several Walk the Earth. His name's Walter Isaacson, the author. And I've been listening to Steve Jobs' one, and probably, I don't know, 25-30% of the way through. And he's a weird dude. Like, when I say weird, I don't mean like he was a bit odd. I mean like he was weird. Like, no showers, would only eat strawberries for 28 days. Like, that's
oddity.
Yeah, carrot diet, would just eat carrots. People reckon he turned orange at one point. That's how much carrots he ate. Yeah. That's all he would eat. Yeah, wouldn't shower. Was convinced because he didn't eat meat, he didn't have to shower. Very rude.
Yes,
like,
I think
rude,
people knew that.
Dude, like to another level.
Yeah.
Like, people would fear, like there was people that would hide when they knew he was coming. Like, his Steve's coming, like, hide, like, get out of here, you know what I mean? Because he's just going to blast you about something.
Yeah.
And, like, would get into an argument with someone and then
fire him.
Well, no, would just start bawling his eyes out and crying like a little girl.
Yeah.
And it's like, what a weird guy. You know what I mean?
Isn't it funny? It's like the great minds of our lifetimes, or the lifetimes now and past. They're all weird. They all have their oddities. And I think it's because they are so incredibly gifted in that one aspect of their life, and they give everything to it, past obsession, they give everything to that cause, that the other aspects of their life are not as developed as that. Do you know what I mean? And even Elon
as in they're not good in other areas?
Yeah, correct. Or they lack some just fundamental things because they're so intertwined in that world and what they're about and what they do.
It's that hyper focus.
Yeah, it's that hyper focus. And like, think about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's music is timeless. Yeah, it'll be listened to in 1,000 years and it'll still be relevant. He came up with a whole, 100%. He'll come up with dance moves. He came up with dance moves. He has affected music today, music in the past, everything. He was a freak of nature when it came to how good he was at his musical abundance and all that sort of shit. But the guy was a freak as well. Like
what?
Well, he either fucking, I don't know if I can say this and get not filtered. It's like, was he playing the kids? Who knows? But
do you think he was, Iggy? Do you think he was touching toys?
I actually don't think he was.
You don't think he was?
No, I don't. I really don't. And this is why, based on what you're saying, I think in his mind, he thought, no, I'm just sleeping with them. That's it. It's just innocent. Their children are innocent. They're beautiful. That's how he was probably thinking in his mind, because he hadn't developed that aspect of his consciousness to say, no, that is odd. That's not right. And don't forget, like, he had so much money, more money than God. He used to go into stores, like he used to hire at Coles just so he could experience what it's like to shop, and in groceries. And buy
really?
groceries. Yeah, I've heard that too. But
He would book out a grocery store,
yeah.
so he could go in and shop and get.
I've heard him do that, yeah, where he'd book out all that. And then I heard another thing. Oh, no, I think it was a documentary before he died, like the last concert he was going to do.
Yeah.
And it also showed like that immense talent there, because he was like, no. The guys were playing in the band in the background. And he's like, no, you're going, da-da-da-da-da. I want to go, da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, you could see his mind working. And he's like, no, you took half a step in the wrong direction and you're fucking everything. It's got to be like this. And he would do his moves and he's like, oh yeah, okay. And it was like that level of perfection, of greatness, whatever. It took everything of his conscious being to do that and be the best and most phenomenal person at that it affected his other areas of life. Like he couldn't do it. And now you're looking at Jobs, you're listening to his biography. You told me some other shit about Elon. He had a kid with his sister, like weird shit. Do you know what I mean?
Mao never showered.
Who?
Mao,
Who's that?
the Chinese dictator.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I mean.
Mahatma Gandhi used to sleep with his relatives.
Yeah.
By sleeping, I mean just sleeping,
Yeah.
not sex.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Thanks for
But again,
clarifying.
oddities with all these people that achieve amazing things.
Gandhi
seems
weird.
to be, yeah, like all of them. I'm sure there's something about all these people that achieve amazing things. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about it. Is it because they give that 110% to that craft? Who knows?
So yeah, funny you bring up MJ. I think he's a weird dude.
But there's
there a clip of
do
him?
you deny that he was musically one of the greatest?
No, hold on. No, I don't.
Yeah.
But hold on. I think I think he did it.
He may very well have. I don't know if he has. No one knows. No one's ever going to know.
You don't reckon he did it? I reckon he did it. I also think like there's something. I think it's weird that a doctor gave him too much heroin or whatever it was and he died.
Don't know.
That's like,
Yeah.
kind of. Did they try? Did they
Okay.
try to take
Recent times. Did he?
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he? Surely he's
What-
got to
what's
be on
the-
the weird Richter scale, doesn't he?
What's the
Billionaires.
accusations? What's the
I
accusation?
don't know. A whole bunch of shit. Trafficking and people trafficking and abuse and probably rape and a whole range of shit going on.
Yeah, I think that's
Right. But again, oddities about someone like that that's achieved such a huge level of success and good, famous producer, all this sort of shit. Who knows? A lot of these people become odd.
Do they become odd or does the oddness?
I'm sure there's an element of they're born with something, that has them super focused on that. Potentially, it could be like a disorder of like ADD or something like that along those lines. Potentially, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, he's a weird dude.
Are you going to continue listening?
Yeah. Why would I?
Oh, maybe you get turned off by it.
I'm not freaking out.
Yeah.
No. It's just I actually find it quite interesting because they were talking about the segment I'm up to now talks about how he's making all these promises and the MacBook 2's coming out, blah blah blah, and they've had this date set in for like 18 months or some significant amount of time, and then the engineers call him 1 week before and they're all freaking out because they don't think they can get it ready by the date. And then he says, they get on the call to him and they tell him, hey, we need 2 more weeks. And then he says, and they're all freaking out, like, what's he going to respond? And he stops and he looks and he's like, you guys are good enough. You can do it by next week. We've had 2 years or whatever it was. You don't need more time. Get it done. It's going to go out on that day. Your name's going to be on it.
Yeah.
And guess what happened?
They got it done.
They got it done.
Yeah. Well, Mosey said that actually in a podcast I was listening to today. And he was talking about, you've got a team full of 20 guys. Is you going out and hiring another 4 people the best thing to do? Or could you get another 20% out of the 20 that you've got?
Listen to that, yeah.
Yeah. And that was interesting. It was interesting to hear that.
That's understanding,
That's understanding, but it's also understanding what people can and can't do. Like a lot of people, he goes, a lot of the time, your team can actually deliver a lot more than what they're delivering. And it's a matter of you as the leader, as the owner of the business, to actually get that out of them instead of having to go out and hire another 3, 4, 5 people. And I've been in this dilemma myself. And I said it to my team. I said, I don't want to go out and hire people. I don't think we need to. I know what your job entails. Yes, you'll be busy and I know you can do it because you've been taught by me and I know you can do it and I've seen you do it. So lift your game, get it done. And more often than not, they do. They do. So yeah, that was interesting to see that as well and listen to it.
Would you ever work for someone like that?
Like a Steve Jobs? If it was of benefit to myself in where I wanted to go, potentially, yeah.
Even on that,
It'd be interesting now, right? Say I went and worked like in my current state. Like if Steve Jobs came up to me and he was like, or a Steve Jobs-esque type person, like what sort of energy would you match that with? I kind of feel he would respond back to someone doing that as well. Like responding back to him in the same way, like matching his level of rudeness, of directness, of whatever it might be. He might respect that a little bit more. Because if someone came up to me and is like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, oi, this shit takes time. If you want to fucking do it yourself, you're welcome to. Here. I'll fucking fire you. Do whatever the fuck you want. I'll go, there's 1,000 places I'll go. But I'm here to help you. You either want to work with me or you want to work against me. What do you want to do?
that would be your response.
Potentially, it depends. Like, again, you got to back yourself with that too. You got to be willing to say, fuck you, I'm out, or not. A lot of those people, see, he was inspiring through fear. That's ultimately what it is. It's like people were nervous to go see him because they're like, oh, fuck, he's coming. I better go hide in the corner, because they were scared to lose their job. They were scared to be yelled at. They were scared to be belittled in front of everyone else. Whereas I wonder if the senior management matched his energy. I don't know.
Yeah, I also
were able to handle him. Because I experienced that early on in my career where I had a boss that was very much like, have you fucking done this yet? What the fuck's wrong with you? If you can't do it, I'll just get someone else in to do it. I'm not going to waste my time with you. Get your shit together. Like, he would talk to you in that way. And as a young person coming into a corporate construction company, like, that was very intimidating. But I've realized very quickly a couple things. First of all was I needed to be able to handle someone like that because the industry was full of them. I also realized that that wasn't the type of manager, leader, business owner that I was going to be one day. So it was good to learn off of that experience. Whereas now I've got the calluses, I've done the push-ups. If someone was to be speaking to me in that manner, be it at another job, I just wouldn't take it. I wouldn't say, oi, I'd be like, mate, come here. I go, you're going to get a lot out of me, but by doing it that way, you're just going to get me offside. I'm just going to leave. I don't need you. I don't need you. I'll get a job anywhere. All right. Yes, this is a well-paid job. Yes, I'm going to get great things happening or whatever it might be. Great opportunity. I get to work with one of the best minds. You can do it in another way, and I think they would respect that.
So why do you think people worked for him?
Why they did? I think it was
apparently people line up to work for him.
Yeah, yeah.
Same thing with Elon.
Maybe it's as well. They think it's better than. It's like you say, never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe it's a matter of that. So I bet you a lot of people would love to go work for Elon even today.
Oh, dude, 100%.
That's what I mean. But they get in the role and they go, fuck, this guy's fucked. I don't want to stay here. Or they suck it up and go, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Can I have some more, sir? You need to work 90 hours this week. Oh, my wife's giving birth. Well, you can see your kid fucking at nighttime. You'll be right. My wife's, yeah. Well, like,
yeah, and that's what they're that's their mentality with a lot of it.
But he knows if you, it's that very dictatorship type management style, you know, that alpha authoritarian type person where he sees people as replaceable. It's like, cool, I literally have 200 people ahead.
Oh, that's sick.
No fucking around, huh? That's cool. I almost want to put the screen around.
We just had a TV roll in
with all of our.
We're live. Let's get a do a live podcast episode.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. So now I'll do it right now.
What were we talking about? I forgot.
You're talking about working with Elon and
yeah. So he sees those people now and go, that's cool. Like, I've got 4,000 other people that are willing to sit in your seat, that are willing to work through their child's birth.
I also believe though that every person, including myself, is replaceable in a business.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. I think humans are disposable.
Yeah.
I think you should care for humans.
Yeah, I do.
I think you should look after them.
I do too.
I don't think you should treat them like a paper towel. But I also think if you're dependent on someone, you're very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Like, you're in a dangerous position in the sense of if your whole business is dependent on this person driving it or this person running it or this person managing it or whatever it might be, you're in a bad position.
I agree.
Yeah.
I completely agree. And I said this to someone the other day. It's like, if someone quits today,
you replace them.
like, that's cool.
We also, that's a thing you learn as well, because there's times where you think, oh, this guy's leaving. I'm
Hey,
fucked.
it would be,
And then you get someone else and realize, oh, hey, this person actually does this better.
yeah, but it's not just that. Like, it will be hard. It's probably going to be hard when that person leaves. Guess what? I can do it. If I have to step into that role for 2 weeks whilst I go and find another candidate, so be it. If I have to give someone an extra amount of work to do, to cover that shift, to cover that piece of work, I'll do it. If I have to pay them extra to do that for 2 weeks, I'll do it. If everyone has to work a Saturday now for the next month because we're behind because of a man down, so be it. So I don't see it as detrimental, in all honesty, when people look at that.
Do you work Saturdays? Team?
For myself, not so much the team. Sometimes the site will work. And I always tell them, I go, if you've fallen behind, you got to come in and catch up. Like, you can do your work between Monday to Friday. You can do it. I know you can because I've done it. And you don't need to come in on a Saturday. But if for whatever reason you haven't been able to get through your work and you need to come in and do something, the Saturday is there available for you to do it. And you should. I think not many people have come in on a Saturday. Very, very rare occurrence for myself, because most of them get their stuff done in the time that they need to.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So I don't push it too much. But on site, like, I like it working Saturdays from a site perspective because it's an extra day that we can get ahead. You know, and if you take into consideration another 52 days you could work potentially, or say 40 odd days in a year, you know, a month and a half, that's a decent way to get some time back on a project by working every single Saturday. And then you take into consideration if you do overtime, a whole bunch of stuff, you can get a bit more time and things built and done properly.
You know,
That's a long pause.
I'm thinking about Elon. Like, you compare these people, right? Elon Musk. They're all weird, like, but the level of achievement they achieve is almost unrivaled.
I don't think we'll ever get another Elon. Not an
Ever.
Unless it's his offspring, I know, and he's grooming him in that way.
His kids. There's a part in the thing where they're talking about Steve Jobs has to pick a color, and he wants it to be beige. So they showed him, I think it was 200,000 different shades of beige, and he said, "No, I want to create my own." And it's like, this guy, like, there's 200,000 shades. Yeah. Pick one. And he's like, "No, none of these are what I'm envisioning." And it's like, it's next level. You know what I mean? But also, they give up on a lot of particular things in life that they don't want to have. You know, Mosey, we speak about him heaps.
Yeah.
He didn't let his missus have a puppy.
Well, he's also even gone as far as, and his missus say that, they don't want to have kids either.
Yeah, that's the puppy is a lot. The kids is like, that's a life choice. You do what you want there.
Yeah.
But like, your missus brings home a puppy and you say, get rid of it. That's full on.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Now they're playing at he's not as much of a freak, I don't think, as some of these other people, but that's how they're thinking. He's just looking at every single.
You don't reckon
he's
I reckon he's like, no, I don't think he is. I think he's on not a far level.
Yeah.
Like, in the sense of, dude, the guy works 7 days a week. And it's kind of like,
But also he has the opportunity to do that now. He's still early 30s. And even if he decides in 8 years' time to have kids, he still can. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I think at this time of his life, he's happy not to, because he can grind, because he can make his $1 billion and all that sort of shit. So, yeah, life choice. But he'd just be looking at the puppy it's going to take time away from me working. Oh, but what?
Yes, that's exactly.
You're going to be at home anyway. Yeah, but I could be working at home.
Yeah,
I could be at home.
I've got to go feed.
Right.
I've got to go do.
It's
It's kind of like, yeah, but it's a trade-off.
Yeah, correct. Like, what do you get? And this is where these other people, these freaks, don't get the trade-off. So say that unconditional love of a child or unconditional love of a puppy or a dog, they don't get to experience that because they're so focused on that one element of their life. And that's probably why they don't develop it and why they become cold, rude, direct, whatever it is, just odd, because they lack a certain aspect in their life and they fill it with their desire, their passion, their obsession, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a strange thing, I think. And
do you, when someone says you're obsessed, okay, so this is a good topic. When someone says you're obsessed, do you see, or hero of obsession, do you see that as a negative connotation?
Me?
Yeah. So say, hey, you're obsessed with work. I even said it in a negative way, the way it sounded coming out of my mouth.
Not really. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Not me
Do you
personally.
think a lot of people would? If someone says, oh, man, you are absolutely obsessed.
I think a lot of people would.
Yeah, I do
Like,
too.
they said you were obsessed with this person or this thing.
Yeah. Or
It's
you're
not a
obsessed with
compliment.
work. Yeah, exactly.
It's
They're
not like,
saying
oh,
it's-
man, you're obsessed with that. Yeah. It's like
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, it's not a compliment.
That's right. But I think you need a level of obsession to be successful in an aspect of life.
What defines success?
Achievement of your own personal goals and desires.
So if I say I don't want to do anything, I want to work a 9 to 5 and make 60K a year, and I do that, am I successful?
In your own definition of it, if that's what it is, I guess. But if it's in my definition, I'd say no. You're in the rat race. But I guess if you're content and happy with that, like who am I to question that? I don't need to be able to question. I shouldn't be sitting here and questioning you because you want to do a 9 to 5.
But is that person successful?
In their definition of it,
Do you think they think they're successful?
I would say the vast majority of people living that life would say no.
I would say the vast majority of people living that life don't want to live that life.
Yeah, that's right. So then in that level, it's not successful. But if they want to, and they're like, look, I'm just going to get to a point in my life where I can just work a 9 to 5, have a steady job, always get paid X amount of dollars every single month, I'm sweet. I've won. I think there'd be very few people like that. I reckon people are more ambitious. Most people are more ambitious and want more. Everyone always wants more. It's whether they're willing to work for it. It's whether they're willing to be obsessed over it, over their dreams, over their desires, all that sort of stuff. Like you need to be obsessed. You need to have a level of obsession to get the things that you want in your life. That's all it is. And this is not just business. This is from a personal point of view too. If you want to go out with that boy or that girl, then there's probably a level of obsession you're going to need to have to be persistent, because sometimes you need to put in that extra effort. It's going to be harder. So you're going to have difficult times in a relationship. You're going to have difficult times in your business. The point is, are you willing to push through that, or are you just going to go, nah, too hard, I'm out. Fuck out.
I have a fun fact. So about Elon Musk. So a month ago, he became the world #1 Diablo 4 player.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's sick. Is that not the coolest thing in the world? The fact that he is doing everything, has 12 kids, and he still has time to go play video games.
And you'd have to be #1. You would have to invest a lot of hours, yeah, in a game like
And
that. Considering that
there's-
gamers just do that.
The craziest thing is that you guys remember when a SpaceX shuttle landed on that fork, whatever thing it is?
When they caught the thing coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by that time, Elon was just grinding on Diablo 4. He didn't even see the landing himself.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and the engineers were talking on his stream. So he streams it. An engineer was talking, oh, we almost messed up. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. He was just playing his video game.
So good.
Do you like video games?
Yeah. I haven't played in a long time, or in a little while, actually, but I do. I enjoy it. I just, at the moment, I look at it and I'm like, if I turn that PS on, I'm like, no. You got stuff to do. You got stuff to do. So, yeah, coming back to what we're talking about, obsession, I think obsession is healthy. I think obsession shouldn't be an insult. It should be a compliment.
What's I guess, how do you define if you're obsessed with something? What is it?
Does it consume your thoughts and actions? Potentially, to a degree. I'd say that. And I don't mean you have to be infatuated by the idea. Like go to sleep, think about it, wake up, think about it. But there needs to be a level of you going, no, this is what I really, really want, and I'm willing to do almost anything to get it. There has to be that level, I believe.
Yeah, I think it helps.
Without a doubt, because when the hard times come, and they will always come, what's going to get you through that? It's going to help you to have that, no, I'm doing this for a high purpose. I'm not going to give up. I know I need to do this. I know there are things that are going to be difficult, but I need to do this.
Yeah, your ability to...
I get other things come into play, discipline, persistence, perseverance, resilience, a whole bunch of stuff. But, you know, being obsessed with that end goal and having the destination in mind, knowing where you're going to get one day is really going to help you get there. Because I don't think motivation's great. I think motivation is fleeting. Like, you can't always be motivated 100% of the time. You can't just be like, cool, at 3 p.m., I'm going to be motivated like a motherfucker.
Maybe it was like a motivation button.
That's right. That's right. Or a button or an exercise you could do and it just flicks on and bang, you're motivated to do absolutely everything. It just doesn't happen like that. Sometimes you get inspired and you're like, yes, let's go. I can't wait. But it's not always there. It's not always there. And if you're waiting to be motivated all the time before you get the thing that you want, man, you'll be sitting on the couch for a long time. Like this morning, I honestly couldn't be fucked going to the gym this morning. I went, had a PT session, but even then even walking in, my mind was like, I just can't be fucked. Coach says, how are you? Yeah, a bit tired. All right. And then, but you know what? Did the session. It was hard. Walked out. Fuck, feel good.
Do you ever get to, sleep in?
Sleep in?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I want to. Yeah, I mean, Monday, so I was in Brisbane over the weekend, got back at 12 a.m. Well, by the time I went to bed, it was 12 a.m. And I'm normally up at 5:36. I woke up at 8. But I didn't, and I knew I had to.
Alarm.
No, I think my alarm went off, but I just turned it off. I was like, no, I'm too tired. I'm just going to sleep. I'm going to rest up. Because I valued that time. Then I don't want to be tired for the rest of the day. At least if I sleep in for a couple more hours, I woke up at 8, got up, but I felt like I'd rested enough at that point in time. So yeah, I very rarely sleep in, but if I do, it's because I need it. So I'll just stay in bed. And even then, my sleep-ins aren't that late. Like 8 o'clock, some people were just getting up at that time.
Yeah. I can sleep.
Yeah. You like it?
I like getting up slowly.
Yeah, right.
Something I've recently learned about myself.
Yeah.
Like, I actually enjoy that way more. I don't think I'm more productive.
Yeah.
I don't think I get more out of the day. I don't think any of that. But I just enjoy it.
Fill your cup, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's like the getting up early, I think it definitely helps you get on top of the day.
Yeah.
Without a doubt in the world. Like, getting up early, go exercise. But by the time you're doing it, people still sleep.
Yeah. So true. Like this morning I got up, I'd gone to the gym, I'd showered, I'd gone home, and I'd been in the office before anyone was even here.
Yeah. And
like, I've done all this stuff and you guys haven't even started your day.
Yeah. And it's like, and then they roll in half asleep.
Yeah.
And you're like,
see, that's what I don't like. I hate waking up tired. Hate it. I hate waking up and just going, oh my God, I could sleep for another 5 hours.
yeah, usually a gym session fixes that though.
Yeah. But I'm saying when I wake up in the morning, first thing to get out of bed, I don't like feeling tired. So when I get up, and I get up early, I'm up at 5:30. When I get up, I don't actually feel tired. I don't feel tired. My eyes are awake. I'm like, cool, time to start the day.
So you can't sleep more?
I probably could. Well, I think once my body clock wakes, I can wake up slowly, as in, you know, when you say sleep more, yeah, I probably could, but I'm kind of a little bit conscious at that time too, not just completely dead to the world.
As in, you know what you're doing?
Yeah, not as in when you're sleeping, not sleeping, you're very light. I'm in a light sleep.
Okay, so you wouldn't
Yeah, just go out and not remember, dream again. You know?
Oh, wow, that's interesting, dude.
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I could sleep like a fucking champ.
Like a champion.
You know what I love doing? I love when I have nothing on the next morning. Like nothing. Like it's like a Sunday morning. Okay, this is Saturday night. And I know I'm going to go to bed. No alarm. No nothing. And when I wake up, I wake up.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's cool. I'm going to call you every morning at 5 when I wake up.
My phone, I'm doing it on 7.
Yeah, very cool.
What else? Merch. Guys.
I love your hat.
Notice the hat.
Love your hat.
I could say the same.
You could and you should.
I did. I will.
So for those of you watching, we are wearing our brand new line of merchandise, which is some $1 Million Days hats, available in 4 different colors.
Careful.
Yeah, I thought so.
I thought it was fine. I was like, no, it's not. It's
4 different colors. To those of you listening, get on YouTube and watch.
Yeah.
So
Fuck around.
listen to the whole podcast, then go back onto YouTube and watch the whole podcast again. That is your task for today.
That is the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing again. But if you do want to get this, I will put a link somewhere. There'll be a shop. Should be a shop. Up, ready.
Yeah.
You can get these hats. There might be some other merch on there. We'll see how we go.
Should we do a giveaway?
Didn't we do it last time?
With the hats? This is the first time we've mentioned or worn the hats. Should we do a giveaway of a hat
Sure.
to a lucky listener? So, but hey, not everything in this world is free, and these hats are not. So, in order for you to get a hat, you need to be subscribed to the channel. So we will check. You need to be subscribed to the channel. You need to reshare this podcast somewhere and tag us. Either $1 Million Days or myself or Robby, you need to tag us, and we will send you a hat in either maroon, grey, navy, or black. You get to pick a color too. Otherwise, for everyone else that doesn't get to be a winner in this instance, you can buy one. Just click the link right here.
Right there. That shit's not going to be there.
Right there.
You can actually see, dude, how good is that? You can actually see now your frame.
That's it.
All on the TV. Okay, so 2025, man.
Yeah, we're in Jan still.
We are.
We're in Jan. Just checking, because I got so much shit going on.
Yeah.
I got so much shit going on, and sometimes need to check what time of the year I'm in.
We're still in Melbourne as well.
So that's good.
We're still
At the moment.
right now,
At the moment.
at this second.
And funny you mentioned that, because in March we won't be in Melbourne. Where are you going to be?
Oh, you dropping bombs like that?
Dropping bombs. Think it's a game.
All right, go.
We're going to be in the United States of America. Trump has called us up. He wants us to join his team.
So, what is it? Doge? The Department of Government Efficiency? With Elon Musk?
Come in and fuck shit up. No, we're going over to the States and we're going to go see Alex or Mosey.
And
And GC.
Grant Cardone.
Going to check out the 10X Growth Conference as well. Spend a couple of days with Mosey, spend a few days with GC and some guests and all that sort of stuff. And it was quite a random thing, actually. We literally spoke about it and then we go, yeah, do you want to book it? And got on a call with them and booked it pretty much that day. We'd wanted to do it for a while, but it was good that we actually took the action and booked it.
I feel like that's what we do with most things, though, right?
Yeah.
That's how this
absolutely.
podcast came together.
Absolutely. Call me up. Hey, you should start a podcast. And, 60 plus episodes later, here we are.
63
Yeah, very,
episodes
very nice.
later.
So what was your motivating factor to go, thousands of kilometers away to go see a couple of people in that business space? What was your motivation behind it?
I want to try Crispy's pizza.
Well,
That's one.
Thinking with your stomach.
Yeah. Look, I think two things. I've always wanted to go to the US. It's not like
Have you not been?
I've never been.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
So I've always wanted to go to the US. I think that is a big business hub for the world, and I think if you want to do big things in the business space, I think that has to be a market that you consider. I think it's almost silly not to. It is probably the biggest westernized market in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 360 million people or whatever it is that they know of. And that's going to continue to grow. And so that's one factor.
So you say as a, place that you should be doing business, what about myself? I'm a builder.
Mm-hmm.
How many people are building I'm not going to go to the States and build. How would I do business there? What should I be looking at?
As a builder?
Yeah, I'm saying if your business isn't necessarily over there, say you're a butcher, why should someone go over to the States and look at something like that just in business?
Just depends on how big you want to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So here's the thing. Most builders, most butchers don't do much. It's true, right?
Without a doubt. Or they stay in their lane. Like this is where
you
they're
were
building that one way to do things.
So you got to go from one to the next to the next. So if you're very geographical based, right? And you're like, hey, we build Bayside, for example. Your next thing might be to then do other luxurious pockets
Of the state.
of the state. And then to then do more states. And then eventually you get to the point where you've kind of capped your market. And it's like, what's the next thing? We then take this into, and because it's what you do, so what we do is less geographical. Obviously, like most of it can be done from mobile.
Yep.
But for what you do, I would then look at markets like Singapore and say, okay, cool, how do we start building in Singapore? How do I start building in the luxurious areas of New Zealand?
Yeah.
How do I get into those places? And then if you want to go bigger, and that's a pretty big market, by the way, but if you want to get bigger, you can then look at...
Well, it could even be different methodologies or tools or equipment or things that they're doing over there that you can bring back here.
So to go on from there?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, well, that's ultimately why we're going. That was my motivation behind going there, because I've gotten to a point now where I was like, well, what's next? You know, there's obviously a lot more out in the world for me to learn. Yeah. Where do I need to go find that information from?
Yeah. And I think that's probably, like I said, I've always wanted to go. I think it's a huge thing being number one. I would probably still have gone because I follow both these people quite close, even if they said, like if they came to Australia, I wouldn't be like, nah, I want to go to the States. I would, of course, I want to go see him.
Yeah.
You know what? I can honestly say that I've learned more from Mosey than I've learned from anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, from the content that he's been putting out.
Practical, real stuff you can do. The example you showed before is shows you how well he understands business. Like if you have one salesperson, trying to get your closing rate from 30% to 40% isn't the best thing to do. That's hard work.
Yeah.
You're better off hiring a salesperson.
That's
right. You know what I mean? It's understanding what's the biggest leverage point. You know what I mean? And dude, some of the stuff I've learned just from his books have changed the way we do business.
Yeah, well, you've implemented, when you were running ads for me, you've implemented strategies that he was telling you to do, implemented that in the ad campaign, and it resulted in what we were trying to get.
Yeah. It was very, very good. And I think he's going to be like a business icon that is, you know, I mean, someone who understands business so well that everyone's going to want to work with.
Yeah, and I think at the moment he's still affordable. You know,
right now?
Yeah, that's right. You go fast forward 10 more years and he's a billionaire, probably before then as well. And it's like, yeah, you want to spend a couple of days with me? It's $50,000 for an hour. Do you know what I mean? And he'll probably get to that point. GC was at that. And I know actually Alex went and saw Grant Cardone and paid him, you know, that $100K for an hour of his time. And she goes, yeah, take it. What am I doing wrong? And Grant told him this, go. And he did, and he went out, crushed it, and exploded in his brand. So...
how sick.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, and that's what I mean. For me, it just got to a point where I'm looking at where am I listening to? Who am I listening to? Who's had impact? I've seen Grant Cardone before. I've done some of his trainings as well. Don't resonate with a lot of this, with everything he does these days, which is fine.
You don't?
No, I mean, I still like him. It's just more from the perspective, he doesn't educate as much as he's a bit of a showman these days. Do you know what I mean? I don't see his content as educational as much these days that he puts out there, unless it's to be selling his product and service and all that sort of stuff. Whereas Alex, on the other hand, same with you. Like I've listened to his podcast. I often take the dog for a walk and listen to his podcast. I'll deep dive into what he said. I'll implement in things what he said before as well, whether it's in my own trainings or in my business. And for me, I thought, well, what an opportunity to go there, learn from him, his team, and see if there's something else available out there for us to do. And hey, you go there, you get one thing, it's paid for itself. You know, the trip, the time, everything. And that's what I want to try and do when I go over there. Because it doesn't always have to be someone local, it doesn't always have to be someone in your own backyard that's an Australian or in your market or in your niche. You know, you can learn things from other people. And I should say I have been at one stage, but I'm not arrogant now to think that I know everything and that no one else can teach me something.
Yeah.
And look, it was still a fair investment on both our ends to be in that room too. You know, and arguably if there wasn't a level of obsession in what we're doing, you probably would just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
Probably just stay here and do the same thing, or try and do the same thing, but a little bit better and get the same sort of result. You know, you got to think different.
I think I was saying it to you the other day as well. I was like, I haven't paid this bloke anything.
Yeah. That's right.
I was like, I'm giving him no money. Like I bought his books.
Yeah.
That's it.
Here's $30.
$60.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Actually, the Leeds one cost me way more because I had to get it shipped. It was when
And that's when it first came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who cares? $100, whatever.
Yeah, for the knowledge that you've received in return. And he did that webinar where he gave all this shit away for free as well.
That
That live event. Yeah.
Yeah.
That he did. He gave a whole bunch of stuff away for free for nothing.
That was all in the book.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Because every time he drops a book, he drops a course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Have you done his courses?
No.
Oh, you've never done them on the website?
No.
Yeah, they're not bad. They just walked through the segments of the books and actually walk you like it's like a video. He's good. He does what he teaches.
Yeah, he's a practitioner. He's a practitioner. And but that's what I resonate with too. You're going and speaking and being mentored by someone who has done the things that you want in your life. Like it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. They'll give you a level of information, a level of skill set that is going to help you significantly in your journey of, achieving your goals.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it, man. Very, very excited for it. I think that's going to be really cool.
A couple of months away. It's going to come
Few
quick.
weeks, yeah. Definitely. It'll come really fast. But I also think, if you're listening to this now, it's something that you should be asking yourself and say, cool, like who am I going to learn from this year?
Yeah.
What am I going to be obsessed about?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Ooh, am I going to try the carrot diet for 28 days and turn orange?
If that fills your cup. It's funny, I had a coaching session this afternoon. Yeah, this afternoon I had it with someone. And the guy was there and he was just pretty much saying, he goes, George, I'm just starting my business. And he goes, when I came and saw you live, I've bought your ticket to your event. I said, great, good on you. Investing in the right places so far. He goes, yeah, look, he goes, I can see that whatever I'm going to pay you, I'm buying that 25 years of experience that you've had in the industry. I'm buying all that. He goes, I can see how whatever I pay you is going to be a fraction of what it's going to save me or make me in the future. So when you have that foresight to go, this is what I need to invest, this is what I need to do today because I can see in the future it's going to save me millions or make me millions, then I think you have a little bit more awareness than other people around you, and you need to tap into that and you need to take advantage of that. And that's effectively what we're doing, going to the States and learning from some other people who have done some sick shit. Like GC's got $1 billion worth of real estate. He's holding...
Yeah, it's 5.5.
Is it? Is that?
Yeah, $5.5 billion in real estate.
He killed it in COVID. Like he just exploded in COVID. When everyone was retracting and saving their money, he went out and bought property. He just went nuts.
He also says the GFC almost ruined him.
Yeah.
And he knew that he was not going to let this happen again.
I say the exact same thing.
Yeah, he's like, don't say this is almost ruining me. He's like, I'm not going to let it happen again.
I was too young in 2008 when it happened. That was the first one he was talking about when he was experiencing the GFC.
I was a kid.
Yeah, I was too young then as well. But I was early 20s, I think. It would have been like 24 or some shit. I'm old. I'm 40 now, don't forget.
Yeah.
I'm over the hill. What was I saying?
Over the hill.
Yeah, I was fucked. Now I'm fucked.
Yeah, 2008.
Yeah, 2008. So he copped it then. I copped it in COVID. Okay, that was my period of time where I was like, nearly destroyed me. Nearly got all the things that I never thought would happen. I thought it was bulletproof. I thought it was everything. It in a bit, and COVID punched me in the face. Well, that period of time punched me in the face. I'm still recovering in the sense of the lessons are still sting.
Psychologically.
Yeah, they still sting. They're still there. But I'm so much better for them. And I've said it in events. I've said it at trainings. I've said it to people. The next time there's a GFC, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire. Next time it happens, I'm going to drop shit like you've never seen before. I'm going to do things that just people are going to go, how did you do that? I say, because I know. I've been through the worst. I've seen what happens. I know what needs to happen here.
And it will.
It will. I guarantee it happens every 8 to 12 years. All right? Something like this will happen again. And if you think it won't, then you're living with your head in the sand. So ask yourself in that instance, like, are you going to be the same person you are now in 8 years' time? Or maybe you should go and listen to some of these people who have gone through the worst of it. Imagine the things that they can teach you. Imagine things I could teach you if you were a builder and wanted to be part of my course. Imagine what I could teach you, knowing what I know, having gone through what I've gone through. That's worth fucking hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Just the experience, let alone all the specific systems and procedures that I can give you. And it's the same with them. They've gone through the worst of the worst. They've gone through the best of the best, and they've compiled everything into 2 days or 3 days and gone, here you go, we're going to teach you. Mad. You're mad not to go to stuff like that and pay money for it.
Yeah, you're buying time, buying knowledge.
Yeah.
And to cap on your question, who are you going to be the next time it comes around? Who are you going to be this year?
Yeah.
The same person as last year?
Yeah. Yeah, we said that a little while ago. It's like you're going to be the next year. This year should be better than last year. The next year should be better than last year. The next year after that should be better than the year before that. Every single year should be an upgrade. And I think a lot of people go through the motions. I think a lot of people just the same for the next 5 years, the same for the next 10 years.
I had a friend tell me once, it was like February, and I was like, what are you going to do about this? And he's like, next year. I was like, dude, it's fucking February. Like, how are you putting it off till next year already?
How funny.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's February. Come on, man. Isn't that
Do you
stupid?
do anything about it?
I reckon he probably saw the move. How stupid is it that we kind of try and reset at this one?
Yeah.
Like, who cares where the Earth is around the sun?
Yeah.
Like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Why do we do that then?
Yeah.
Isn't it dumb?
It's ridiculous. We're waiting for that day. Like, that's why New Year's revolutions, New Year's resolutions never work. It's because there's not a real thought process behind that goal or behind that thing that you want. It's just like, oh, new year, new me. I'm going to do this. And that's why the gym's always packed for the first 2 weeks when you get back after New Year's, but then it dies off. And I was doing this at a training last year when we went to Brisbane with some mentees and we're talking about it. And it's like, you know, you find a cheat code to excellence in your life, whether it's you do a fitness thing, you drink lots of water, you learn from people, you connect with people, you find a cheat code to give you the advantage, and then all of a sudden you stop.
Why?
Why'd you stop eating healthy? Because you hit a certain weight and got a six-pack, so now you can be fat again for the next 6 months. All right? Or you just train 6 months before Christmas. Or we're just going to invest whenever we're having a difficult time in business. Why don't you invest when you're having good times in business? Because you think you're bulletproof, because you think there's no one there to help you, to learn from. That's arrogance, you know? And I was arrogant at one stage. I was definitely arrogant, and I thought my shit didn't stink, and I was better than everyone else, and I was killing it, and I had heaps of money in the bank, and then bang.
So what's a habit that you're not bringing into 2025?
Couple things. Not waiting to have difficult conversations is definitely one of them, or difficult tasks. So conversations and tasks. Yeah, eating the frog, massive. Not that I was ever like really putting it off like it was a massive delay, but definitely something from the perspective of, no, if something comes up, address it right away. In business, in family, whatever it is, tell what it is. Because, you know, Peterson said this, conflict delayed is conflict intensified. So the longer you leave it, it's the worse it's going to get. There's no doubt about it. It festers, it builds resentment. There's a whole range of things that happen. So definitely eating the frog and getting the task done when it comes up is something I want to do more so. You know, I did it last year, but I want to do it more so with everything. And I realized last year, funny enough, that I never liked conflict. I probably avoided it. And I'm a confident person, and I'll tell you to get fucked if I want to tell you to get fucked. Like, it's not a fear thing, but I realize still I don't like it. Like, if I have to have a hard conversation with you,
do you have
with a partner? No, you don't. But the other thing I realized as well is, let's just use your partner, for example, you know, your husband or your wife. When you have a disagreement or you have a conflict, understand that you're in that conflict together, not as separate entities coming together to prove the other one wrong or to put them down. No, we've got an issue. Let's work through it together.
Yeah, like
it's a collaborative approach. You can still say, I don't like this about you, or I don't like this about you, you know, and you go, okay, I understand that. Yes, I could see how that could be annoying. All right. And then coming together to resolve it, but not to fuck you, I'm going to prove you wrong. You're the piece of shit, not me. Because then both parties will leave that conversation and that conflict with resentment to each other. Fuck him. I can't believe he thinks that about me. fuck off. You know, they don't walk away going, oh, fuck, I won. I showed that bitch. You know what I mean?
No one wins in that situation.
No one wins. So I think avoiding the conflict is bad. Also, coming together in the conflict to have a win is also a bad thing too. So I try and really focus on collaborative approaches in business and in personal life as well. And if I have to say, well, what's the way out? Where do we look at where to from here? I don't need to win this argument. I just need to come to a resolution that works for both parties. So that's something I'm focusing on this year.
So eating the frog. Have you read Eat the Frog?
No, I haven't actually.
It's a quick read.
I might put it on.
Give it a whirl. Yeah, cool then.
What about yourself? What's different from last year to this year? Because I remember we said a little while ago that you don't think that you had an amazing year, like you weren't pumped with the year.
For 2024?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's stick by that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a...
So you were saying like in your 10 years, so say it takes that 10 years to have that 1 year, you felt like it was just one of those 10.
Yes, I felt like it was there was a lot of background work.
Yeah. So could this year be that one? Do you see it? Do you see things in the horizon to happen? Something like that? Because it's like you've probably already answered it. You know, if you're thinking for this long, you've probably already answered the question.
No, it's like do I want to say yes? Because then if I say yes, what's going to happen? Like, you know what I mean?
What's
it's more
of it?
No, it's more of a. I know what I need to do, and when the pin drops, it'll drop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't choose when the pin drops.
Yeah.
I can choose what I do today.
Yeah.
And it's like that's my mentality.
Yeah.
And I know I need to move this. This is the needle. And I know I need to focus on this and this and this. And as long as I do that, it'll eventually come around. Whether that's next month, next year, next decade, I don't know. But I know what I need to do today.
See, I think that's a huge advantage when you think like that.
Yeah, I've
always thought like that.
Oh, dude, because then it's like you get to and that's probably why I had that rating for my year last year.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, I thought these things were going to happen, and those particular things didn't happen. And it's like, it's not to say that they're not going to happen, but it's to say that, okay, cool, we didn't get to what we wanted to in that thing. And now I'm just more process focused. And it's like, do the right things and it'll fall together.
It will. And I'll
go to the gym enough times and you will lose weight.
That's right.
Eat clean most of the time and you will, you know what I mean? It's like follow those.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I've always said it too. I've said it to everyone along the way. It's going to happen. You know, it's going to pop one day and everyone's going to be like, how did you do it? So lucky.
Yeah. Overnight success.
Well, exactly. And it's the story of a CEO, Stephen Bartlett, is it?
Yep.
He put a post up a little while ago and it said 3 billion downloads on his podcast. But the description, because you sent it to me, but the description wasn't about the 3 billion downloads of his podcast. He was there and he said, no one ever saw the 3 years of weekly podcasts we did before we got those 3 billion downloads. He goes, we only got the 3 billion downloads in the last 2 years. We got 95% of our followers in the last 2 years. Because it took us weekly podcasts. We're in week 63 of doing a podcast. You know what I mean? Going off his success rate, we have another 120 episodes to go before we're even going to be considered to be in a top 10. You know what I mean? And too many people, they go, fuck, still hasn't popped at 60. 63 episodes and you're still not top 10. What's wrong with you? Trust the process. It'll happen.
Oh, dude, the amount of people that say that is so funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you just look at it.
Say that about this podcast or just in general in life?
Oh, just in general.
Yeah.
I think people come up to me. They're like, how much money do you make from the podcast? And I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
It costs us money.
It costs us money. Yeah.
It costs money. And
why would you do that?
Why do you do it?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're playing too small. You should listen to the podcast.
You know what, though?
And learn why we do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But you know what, though? Arguably, it's made you money. I would say it's made you money. And me money. Do you think you've not influenced people's decision to buy from you because of this podcast?
Possibly.
Absolutely you have. I know we had some people on this podcast that became clients.
Yeah, but
So factor into consideration how much they've paid to use your services.
yeah.
And they go, well, cool. They probably wouldn't have been a client had they not come on this podcast.
Yeah, I
They've
don't
experienced this.
I don't attribute that as a direct result.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's more so the mindset around it. You know, and it's like, and some people just don't understand. And I think, like, it was your old man I was saying to you, how come you
Yeah,
guys
it was.
don't get much views? It was like,
He's watching YouTube. He's watching
takes-
YouTube.
yeah.
He goes, I watch every episode. He goes, but because you only got like 10 views on your videos or something like that. He goes, I don't know why.
yeah. And it's like, dude, only recently one of our episodes got cracked 500 views.
Yeah.
And it's like
Oh, the actual full episode.
a full episode. Yeah.
Not a clip.
We've had clips go off. But it's like only our subscribers have 2.5 times in the last, what it took us to get to 100.
Yeah.
We're now at 250 in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And it took us a year to get to 100. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, look at that, boom. And it's like, what's that impact when you're at 1 million?
Yeah.
And it's like, boom, yeah, 3 million. You know what I mean? In 6 months.
The plaque's coming. Right?
It's going to be sick.
How sick would it be? Have the YouTube plaque up here.
100K.
Yeah. But think about that. The plaque's coming. It's not like, are you going to be bummed next year because the plaque's not here? Of course you are. But,
Hey, man.
Of course you are. But do you know what I mean? The plaque is on its way. It's just a matter of time. You got to put in the reps. You got to put in the consistency. You got to have that level of obsession, of discipline.
There's no human associated to YouTube, huh?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how you say, like, Zuckerberg is Facebook.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There's no human associated to YouTube.
Is it,
Who
what
the
is it? Is it
fuck
the
are you?
brainchild of Google?
YouTube?
Yeah.
Like,
Or did
Google
they just
bought
buy it?
YouTube
Yeah, okay.
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like, in the last decade. But who the fuck made YouTube? That's an interesting...
Hey, Siri, who is the founder of YouTube? She doesn't want to talk to me.
You know, Google bought YouTube. I don't know the numbers, but they bought it for a significant amount of money. And 4 years later, when Google makes that same amount off it in ad revenue in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, what a buy.
Hey, Siri, who is the founder of YouTube? Steve Chen,
Oh, Chenny.
Chad Hurley,
Big Chen.
and Jawed Karim.
Big Chen dog.
Or Jawed Karim.
Do we?
So there you go. That's who it was founded by.
Big Chen. Shout out to Big Chen.
Know him?
You don't know him?
I haven't met him yet. No.
I'll introduce you.
Please.
I'll do an email intro.
Get him to subscribe to the channel, because if he subscribes, surely we'll get a couple more. Where could people go to subscribe if they wanted to?
Apparently it's a red button.
It's the only color it should be
That's why.
on
what I've
every
heard.
platform,
That's what I've heard.
every single platform. And regardless of whether Mr. Chen follows us or not, you should, because we're talking about sick shit. We're going to help you in your life, and it's very rewarding for us. And I know it'll be rewarding for you.
Yeah, so to cap everything we've said, I'm not going to do a carrot diet,
Good.
but I am going to obsess on the process.
Good.
And it's fucking crushed 2025.
Oh, how good's it going to be? How good is it going to be? And what a start to the year it's been already. What a start. Guys, I hope you have an amazing $1 million day, and I hope you go out and crush 25. And we will be back here next week because we are fucking obsessed.
Don't forget to tag us in the post and get your free hat. Thanks, guys.
Oh.